Welcome everybody to the legendary tactics review of E.T. the Extraterrestial game, originally played for the Atari 2600. I am the guest reviewer for today. My name is Ron Fantastic, and I am super excited to talk to you about one of the greatest games of all time. Now, before we get into the game, I do want to warn you, now this game was reviewed E for everyone, which quite frankly I disagree with. There are multiple times in this game where you fall down a hole, and I don't think that this is something that you should show children to. It is very dangerous to fall down a hole. I once fell down a hole and was in there for 3 days with a very sexually aggressive badger. Now, it worked out well for me. The badger and I were and still are very much in love, but this might not happen to you. Anyway, getting down to the game. Story. I give the story 8 flying bicycles out of 8. If you have seen the movie E.T., then you will know the story of this game because they are exactly the same. Just like in the classic movie, E.T. lands in the woods and then wanders around those woods, picking up flowers and aluminum foil and little tiny pieces of and once in a while will fall down a hole and then use his famous ability to stretch his neck and float out of the hole, just like you loved in the movie. And again, if you have seen the movie, I don't need to explain this game. They are exactly the same. And so I give it 8 flying bicycles out of 8. When we get down to the graphics, I would have to give this 7 pre-rehab Drew Barrymores out of 8. They are quite good. Now, this was 1982, so of course the graphics are a little rough around the edges. But really, it does more or less render the story the way we remember. E.T. is, of course, like we remember, shiny green, just like in the movie. In fact, all of the backgrounds are green, and the holes are green. Some would describe this color scheme as a bit off-putting, but not me. I personally enjoyed the challenge of not being able to tell whether part of the game was the background or playable or both, and sometimes it switched, which was a nice surprise, so this game keeps you on your toes. I love the way they render E.T.'s spaceship. Just like in the movie, they capture the majesty of it, showing that it is only slightly bigger than E.T. himself, kind of a cosmic elevator situation. It's fantastic. But the most stirring graphics are, of course, Elliot's house, which, just like in the movie, is one room with one window and doors on both sides. And Elliot himself is portrayed as you remember him from the film, wearing an Ernie-style striped shirt, having giant square feet and a big old ass. So I personally think Elliot has never looked sexier. And that's why the graphics get 7 pre-rehab Drew Barrymores out of 8. The sound is so gorgeous. I wish I could give it 12 glowy fingers out of 11 and think I will do that thing, because the sound, it totally slaps. Every part, every song, every sound in this game is a banger. It opens with, of course, the E.T. theme as it was always meant to be played on a Casio keyboard with the batteries dying. It's gorgeous. And what they smartly do after that is take out all music from the game so you can focus on the super crisp and lovely sounding sound effects. In fact, I'm just going to stop talking for a second. Listen to these beautiful sounds right here. Oh, that's amazing. I'm totally transported to the world of E.T. Finally, the only other thing I want to discuss about this remarkable game is, of course, the scoring. And I give the scoring in this game the rating of a bunch of random numbers, because that, sir, is what the scoring is. You never quite know what it's going to be. You start with 9,999 points, and then you do things, and sometimes that makes your score go down. Sometimes it makes your score go up. You never really know which way it is going to go, which is exciting. Too many games, it's too predictable how the score works, and E.T. Keeps you on your toes, and when it ends, you don't know what's going to happen, just like in the movie, full of surprises. So, to sum up, of course, if you haven't seen the movie, you don't have to bother now, because the game is the movie, but it is interactive. It reminds me of the time I told my daddy I had never known the touch of a woman, and instead of showing me some filthy movie, he took me right to a brothel, because I had a good daddy, and that was the best 38th birthday I've ever had. So, sum up, E.T., fantastic game from the man himself, Ron Fantastic. Wishing you a great day and reminding everybody that everyone at Legendary Tactics except me is a virgin. Goodbye!